Supercuts?
Yeah, they do a good job.
Do I look like someone that goes to Supercuts? Look at me, Lou. Look at my face.
Okay, yeah, you got me.
Okay.
Yeah. What is up, interwebs? Big Lou here. Matt, the Cut Man, with me as always. And we have just come from seeing Mustache Impossible. Mission Impossible.
That was a fine mustache.
Yeah, it was.
Fierce.
The man could wear a beard. Mission Impossible Fallout, the latest installment in the Mission Impossible franchise. Tom Cruise, Henry Cavill, Simon Pegg, and the rest of the motley crew. Cut Man.
Directed by Christopher McQuarrie.
Christopher McQuarrie.
Written and directed.
Oh, it was written too?
Yeah.
Very nice. Excellent. What'd you think of Mission Impossible Fallout? That look says it all. That's the look.
Yes, it was...
That's our thumbnail too, by the way.
It was, and I can't believe I have to qualify this, a complete story.
You're not going to let that go, are you?
Oh, and there were several movies so far that have not been a complete story. But it was, not only was it a complete story, I felt it was very complex without being like too overly analytical.
Yeah.
It made you think, but then there were also amazing action sequences.
A lot of action.
But then it was okay. I don't know what's going to happen next.
Yeah.
I remember like a bunch of cars are like all pulling up to something, and I realized there hasn't been some sort of like everyman exposition to be like, okay, so what Ethan's going to do now is X, Y, and Z, and that's what we're going to do next, and this, that, and another, and none of that happened. And that's a trait in a lot of the Mission Impossible movies where you just aren't sure what's going to happen. They're just like, okay, so you guys got this? Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
And then they roll up on the mission, and it just unfolds in front of you, and it's joyous.
It is. That's one of the things that I like about these movies is that you're right. There's not a whole lot of blatant exposition. Yeah. There's a lot of exposition, but none of it is, okay, this is what this movie's about. It's just kind of like, boom, and you're off to the races.
Well, I think it's because with the way it's set up, there really can't be, because everyone is an expert on the team.
Yeah.
I mean, if there was like an outsider to explain things to, like as an audience stand-in, then sure you could, but there's not in these types of movies. No. So it just has to unfold in front of you, and I dig that.
Yeah. One of the other things that I dig is that very, very few movies, and I can't think of hardly any, that do it better than the Mission Impossible series, they have an opening credit sequence. Movies don't do opening credits anymore. It's just, boom, here's the movie. And you'll see a couple of titles, flashing up and whatnot. Yeah. But, I mean, this one, there's the cold open. And then it goes, bum, 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 bum.
Yeah, and that's talk about the most iconic, identifiable.
It absolutely is, yeah. With the fuse going across and stuff
exactly.
like that. Yeah. I saw the composer of the Mission Impossible theme made a comment, or it was a tweet or something like that I saw about it's increasingly more difficult to update that theme because the only thing you could do is just add different dance remixes to it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I remember when the original 96, you cannot juxtapose original and reboot, I guess, at the same sentence, but when the 96 reboot of this TV show came out. And the soundtrack came out. That was played on a loop, much to the chagrin of anyone that rode in the car with me.
Yeah, I didn't know you then, thank goodness. Not that I have anything against. I love orchestral music, especially movie scores and soundtracks, which the score for this movie, the theme aside, I thought was fantastic. It was subtle when it needed to be subtle. The action was intense, or the music during the action was intense, but it didn't take you out of anything. So what else stands out as far as like the players involved and the characters and stuff? Did it give you what you wanted from the characters? So
the characters are all fairly established, but I really feel like they really upped the game when it came to the action sequences. I mean, the Halo jump.
Oh my God.
That was really him doing that. That was really him flying in a C-17 and jumping out of the plane.
Yeah, and if you have any doubt that it was, check out the Late Late Show with James Corbin video. James Corbin and Tom Cruise jumped out of an airplane together. It's like 11 minutes long. I'll put the link down in the description below. It's hysterically funny and amazing.
That's good stuff. Yeah, but I mean, there's a huge difference between somebody jumping out of an airplane at 15,000 feet and somebody jumping out at 35,000 feet.
Yeah.
I mean, that is a mass. I mean, I know it's just double the altitude, but the complexity involved with you have to be breathing oxygen and Halo stands for high altitude, low opening.
Yep.
And the low opening is what's really dangerous. I mean, you really have to time these things.
Well, yeah, it's not the fall that'll kill you. It's that sudden stop at the end.
Yeah. So,
but I mean, the Halo jump, excuse me, was incredible stunt coordination. The motorcycle scene going against traffic around the Arc de Triomphe was... I don't know how many of those cars were practical cars and how many of them were CG cars.
Oh, man.
But I can't wait for the Blu-ray for this to see the special features on this.
Dude, I mean, as somebody that drives a motorcycle.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. I forgot you have a motorcycle.
I was kind of I wish that I was still
like
wearing
this a little bit?
I wish that I still had telemetry from my Apple Watch because my heart was racing when I was watching. I'm like, oh no, we gotta go that way, gotta go that way.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, he was really doing it. When you could tell, like, he was like, putting his legs down at this side, putting his leg down on this side, and I mean, he can really handle that.
Yeah, without a helmet.
Yeah.
Dude's crazy.
That's the thing. Like,
and if it had been up to him, he would have been flying the F-14 at the high-speed pass. Little Top Gun reference there, in case you didn't catch that.
Pattern is full.
Yes.
Not for him.
I want some butts. Anyway, was there anything about this movie that you didn't like, that just didn't work for you?
Not necessarily that it didn't work for me, but I did have just a slight bit of nitpickery.
Pick away. Without spoiling. We'll get into some spoilers here in a little bit.
It's fine. I understand how these things work. It's not my first rodeo.
I was explaining to them.
They know.
Well, they know now. I just told them.
Now we're all on the same page. So I mean, Mission Impossible is kind of known for a few things. It's known for guys ripping off masks. Mm-hmm. It's known for your awesome stunts, but it's also known for some really cool tech.
Yeah,
I felt that was lacking in this one.
Yeah, not a whole lot of the gadgets.
Yeah, that was significantly
missing.
It was very understated. There were a few scenes. I mean, it was Benji get the car.
That was cool.
Where they remotely control the car, but I don't know if you recall. We performed that stunt outside of the theater.
I do remember that. Yeah, you almost ran over a couple of guys.
The car was fine. It has ultrasonic sensors in front. It wasn't going to hit anybody. They were in no danger.
No, I'm saying the car was in danger from these guys falling on it because maybe a little bit.
Yeah, no, I mean, I can remotely control my car and have it come to me.
Yeah.
And I mean, the other bit of tech that I can recall, I mean, feel free to jump in if there's more that I missed, but was like the facial scanning.
Yeah, but that's not new tech. We've seen that's a standard trope that we've done in Mission Impossible movies.
Okay, I am unlocking my phone with the same facial scanning.
Man's not wrong. So
if you had the right type of camera, you could have seen those dots that were on my face. So it was just lacking in that little department. I don't know really where they could have thrown that in.
Yes, and that's the point that I was going to make, is that I don't think that the story of this movie necessarily lent itself to some super cool gadget. Like in the Ghost Protocol, he had the glove. The gloves, and was climbing up the side of the building in Dubai.
That was pretty awesome.
That story warranted that piece of tech.
Right.
And in I think it was also in Ghost Protocol where they had the display on the sheet that was the forced perspective.
Yeah, in the hallway.
Yeah. So I mean that was really cool tech. It was a really cool thing to do.
I just wish they would have found a way to introduce something neat.
Sure.
Something not like just not out of this world, but that just kind of like took existing technology and pushed it just the beyond of reality.
Yeah. The only negative thing that I had to say, and I'll go into a little bit more details when we start talking some spoilers, is that the third act, to me, there was some pacing issues for me in the third act a little bit. It just was, I just kept wanting it was very fast paced, but it was like, to me, it seemed like they were running in place as far as the pace. But
there was a lot of running.
Well, yeah, there was definitely a lot.
So it could have been called Mission Impossible: Tom Cruise Runs.
Yeah, a lot of good humor involved with the running too. It's like, no, I'll get into spoilers on it, but it was very entertaining. Absolutely recommend that you go see it. But if you haven't seen Rogue Nation in a while,
this is almost a direct sequel to
really
that.
It is, yeah.
But you also need to see a lot of the other movies in the franchise because there's a lot of callbacks to the first one.
Yeah.
And as well as the third.
Yeah. The third one, I think, more so than the first one, just because of his wife.
Yeah.
Who, I mean, she's in the trailers. We've seen that she's in the movie. So, refreshing your memory on that, I think, would be good. But definitely refresh your memory on Rogue Nation before you go see Fallout.
Go see them all.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe not the second. The John Woo one, maybe that's a mulligan.
Yeah, do-over. So, anyway, we're going to go ahead and get into some spoiler talk now. You have been warned. So, Cutman, what do you want to spoil for these good people? What stands out to you the most?
Okay, so the helicopter sequence.
Yes.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Okay, first of all, if you're not aware, he actually flew that helicopter himself.
Yeah. Tom Cruise. Actually flew.
That was Tom.
Himself. Yeah.
That was Tom. He
crashed the damn thing. So how good a pilot could he be?
he became rated on the helicopter and he did all. I mean, it kind of looks like maybe there could be another pilot. No, there is not another pilot in the helicopter. All of that flying is him.
Yeah,
it's badass.
Yeah. It's there are three significant chase sequences in this. You've got your Knight Rider chase scene, you've got your Street Hawk chase scene, and you got your Airwolf chase scene.
Oh yeah.
So the motorcycle chase, the car chase when he's in that little BMW, and then the helicopter chase at the end. They had a helicopter chase scene. In this movie, like through the mountains, and it was fantastic.
Yeah, that was very, very cool.
I almost wanted to have the Airwolf theme song playing in the background as I was watching it. But yeah, loved that. The thing that stands out to me the most was Henry Cavill needs to play a bad guy more. I thought he did a fantastic job as the
double agent.
Yeah, the Walker or Lark or whatever you want to call him. But and I'm a huge fan of his regardless.
Sure.
You know, whether he's flying around fighting Batman or if he's Henry Cavill or Jim Caviezel's son breaking out of prison. He played the son in The Count of Monte Cristo.
Oh, did he really?
Oh, yeah, it's Henry Cavill.
Wow.
Like a 14-year-old Henry Cavill.
That's a good callback.
Yeah. So, big fan of Henry Cavill. Did you ever see Man from U.N.C.L.E.?
Yes.
The one with him and Armie Hammer?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good one, too.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of both of them.
Yeah, for sure. So, the pacing issue that I had, that I was talking about when we were doing non-spoilers, was you knew they were going to save the day. And it was just like, okay, come on. And it's like, oh, the helicopter fell this far. Oh, and now it fell another 200 feet. Oh, and now it's being held on by the hook. And I'm just like, okay, we get it. The stakes are high, and you want to cause suspense, but I was just ready for it to get there and be done. And it just kind of seemed like that whole sequence, once they crashed, that sequence to me seemed like it was dragged out about a minute and a half too long, maybe 2 minutes too long.
Well, see, I actually enjoyed the fact that the plans, I mean, so many times in, not necessarily these movies, but in movies like these, they have some sort of massively intricate plan that the audience is not in on, and then 35 implausible steps later,
Yeah.
the trap is sprung, and they're like, "Ha ha! It finally you have fallen into my trap," and it's like that didn't happen.
It did, but we had that moment at the end of the second act.
Yeah, but not in this. Like
Yeah.
Ethan was shooting from the hip when he jumped on that helicopter. He really didn't know. He wasn't the best. He wasn't. Agent Hunt is not the best helicopter pilot. I mean, he knows how to fly, but he's just kind of like, okay, I understand this. Like, I'm a pilot. I understand conceptually how to fly a helicopter. I'm pretty sure that I could do it if I was in that situation, but I don't want to be tested.
Yeah. No, like I said, everything up to when they crashed.
Yeah,
I was all in. Yeah, it was fantastic. And then once they crashed, I was like, okay, get there. Okay, now they're keep hanging.
Did the sun dissolve get you at all?
That is the one redeeming factor. And I even leaned over to you and said, that was a fantastic misdirect.
Yeah.
It was great.
You were saying something, and the joke in my head was going to be, nice dissolve. Anybody got that one?
Yeah, if you didn't, watch more Mel Brooks. But yeah, and they even kind of poke fun at it too at the end when he's laying in the hospital bed and Benji goes, so how close did we get? And he goes, the usual. And I was like, see, that's the point that I was trying to make. But again, like going back here,
we're gonna do it at 2. Why not 1?
Yeah, very, very nitpickery as far as things not to like about this movie. But fantastic time at the movies. If you're looking for a good, fun summer action flick, this is definitely the movie to go see.
Tom has not disappointed.
No, I can't. The one disappointing movie that I think I've seen from him recently was that stupid Mummy movie that he did a couple of years ago.
I watched that movie just recently, and I was not disappointed in it.
The movie itself I thought was pretty decent, and I enjoyed the movie. I just was disappointed that it wasn't what we had expected it to be, the start of the whole dark universe thing. So I was disappointed with that, but the character in that was very different than most characters that we've seen him play. But
he was kind of a schmuck.
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, enough about the Mummy. Definitely go see Mission Impossible Fallout.
Do it.
You have been commanded. Anyway.
Do it.
Yeah, what he said. Anyway, that's going to do it for us, folks. If you liked this video and you liked our review, go ahead and give us a thumbs up. Subscribe to the YouTube channel just by clicking on the link right here. We've got something else fun for you to watch right up here, and we're going to be continuing to break movies down as soon as they come out in the theaters. You can check it out here on the interwebs.